welcome to my 8-ball guide. For those of you who don't know me, I reached top 10 in the rank leaderboard, set up the multiplayer coaching scheme, and have coached people through it. On top of my knowledge and experience, I have always been an advocate for 8-ball, and subsequently played around 20 to 30% of my games with it. This has granted me the knowledge of how to use and maximize this joker to the fullest. This video will be timestamped, but if you want to skip ahead to specific parts, feel free. Although, I highly recommend watching it all the way through. I'll be going over how the 8-ball works, the 3 phases to playing it, and some advanced tips and tricks, so make sure to stick around. If you think I've missed something, or you have any questions, I'll be coaching people over on my Twitch, and will be happy to help, or you can just drop them in the comments below. Eight-ball has a 1 in 4 chance per played 8 to create a tarot card when scored. Basically, this means the more 8s you can play, the more tarots you can find. There are a multitude of ways to increase the number of 8s you can play, with the most easy being creating more 8s or using retrigger jokers such as Chad or Dusk. Of course, your aim during hands is to get as many 8 triggers as you can. By initially playing full houses with 8s and using hands to discard cards, you can safely trigger a decent amount of 8s, like what I did in the first big blind of this game I'm showing. When using 8-ball, the tarots that make the most impact will be econ tarots, such as Hermit or Temperance, or deck fixing tarots like Death or Strength, which will allow you to create more 8s. But you have to be careful, because taking too many 8s is dangerous and is a trap that a lot of players fall into when playing 8-ball, and I'll go through why later when I talk about the 3 phases. Having a retriggered joker will almost double your tarot output, and after a bit of deck fixing, you'll quickly start to see your 8-ball producing plenty of tarot cards to give you the upper hand in any PvP game. In my opinion, Hanging Chad is the best retrigger joker with 8-ball, and it's common. With Chad, you can just play 2 8s per hand to increase the number of 8 triggers, like I show in this blind. Now, I want to talk about the 3 phases to playing 8-ball. Those would be building, transition, and removal. If you follow these phases, then you are close to perfecting how to use 8-ball. The first phase is all about setting up conditions to trigger 8-ball. As previously mentioned, this can include increasing the number of 8s in your deck, or finding retrigger jokers. You will want to try your best to stay above the interest cap and take multiple value generators other than just 8-ball to help you find retriggers when you are re-rolling. I'm not going to go over econ management in this video, but I do plan to make more guide videos in the future going over econ, strategies, and other multiplayer related topics. So if that is something that interests you, feel free to subscribe and like this video. When you get tarots that can improve your cards, such as Empress or Magician, then putting them on your 8s is a strong bet. As for early game, you'll be relying on your 8s for scoring an econ. This phase will end once you've gotten roughly 6 to 7 8s and a retrigger joker, or 7 to 8 8s without a retrigger joker. Going on to the next phase, it's transition. This phase is all about going from making more 8s and buffing them up to shaping your final hand. Once you've gotten the 6 to 7 8s and a retrigger joker, or 7 to 8 8s without, then you will want to start building up into your strongest card, which will most of the time be King of Hearts. There is an exception to this rule, where if you find a polychrome or a red seal 2 through 5, you'll play into that and taking a hack instead of a sock for retriggers. If you find a polychrome or red seal that is 6 through 10, then you will want to try and strengthen it into a Jack of Hearts and play around Jacks instead of Kings. Otherwise, your aim is the King of Hearts. This is because having a King of Hearts opens you up to the maximum possible meta joker combinations. You've got options to play like Sock and Bloodstone, Baron Mime, and other things like that. To make these kings, you're going to want to use strengths and deaths from your 8-ball, along with now adding enhancements to this final hand, such as Magician. The reason I'm calling it a final hand is because the aim is to play 8s for all the hands except your final hand, and then play your final hand as your scoring cards. This goes for both PvP blinds and normal blinds. Next up is the final phase, phase 3, removal. This phase is all about when you get rid of 8-ball. which surprisingly enough, I see people do wrong all the time. It is very common for people to build into their 8-ball well and play it for a bit, only to replace it with a rebate before they have finished maximizing their values from it. The aim of 8-ball will differ from run to run. On runs with idle, you may hold it for longer to try and maximize the chance of idle hitting. But on a run with ancient, you may hold it only until you have enough gold/steel cards and a fully accessible wild final hand. There is no clear-cut time to drop 8-ball. It is purely vibes based. That being said, most runs, after you've built into it, it can be one of the best value generators. So, before instantly diving into selling it for rebate, determine if you can continue getting more value out of it to improve your deck. One thing to note is that most games I play with 8-ball, I get rid of it not for an econ joker, but actually for a scoring joker. Right, now you should know how to play 8-ball. Here are some advanced tips to min-max even harder. The main tip, and a cause for controversy, is card cutting order. This basically means which cards you are going to remove first. My personal list goes Ace, 9, 3, 4, 7, 2, 5, 10, 8s, and then 6s. The main reason for all the controversy is the Joker hack. With such a re-trigger focused meta, some people prefer to cut cards such as 7s and 8s before the 3s, 4s and 5s. My reason for not cutting the 7s and 8s is the fact that 8-ball is so common and can bring a big impact in terms of tarot generation to the game, where hack is uncommon and shows up less. Some other cutting orders that people use are 7, 9, Ace, 8, 3, 4, 2, 5, 10, 6. But this is not focused around 8-ball at all, and I personally wouldn't recommend or use it. Anyway, if you have found this guide in any way helpful, then please let me know and I will keep making more. Let me know what I could do better in the comments, and keep an eye out for when I go live on Twitch, as I do public VOD reviews for anyone with a video. Also, if you're interested in getting coached by my team of coaches, then please head over to the Balatro multiplayer Discord and open a coaching ticket. I would love to see you. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.